1, 2, asinine discussion is coming to you. Welcome the fuck back.
Mac.
I know for a fact it hasn't been long because we took precautions and filmed some shit back to back.
Yeah, it's been all of an hour.
Yeah. What did we do? Ran down to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're doing a special episode next time where we're going to get fucked up and play Never Have I Ever and tell some stories.
We've never even drank before. We're getting drunk for the very first time just for you guys.
Yeah. Pump up those numbers. Tell a friend.
So what are we doing here?
Today we're talking about our boy, Freddy motherfucking Krueger, who just left the frame.
Whoops.
That's okay.
Where's this asshole?
Whatever. He's just going to make a quick cameo.
Hello. What up, guys?
We're going to be discussing the franchise, how much we love it, and talking about the current state of it and what it's basically. You saw the Chucky one. We're doing the same shit.
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
much.
So fucking Freddy Krueger. Like, how's he fit into your life? Like,
I love Freddy Krueger, man. He's one of the big dogs. He's one of the first fucking people that I saw as far as like horror goes. So like it goes like Chucky, Freddy, Michael, Jason, Leatherface. Like
everyone knows me as the Jason guy, but between like third grade and like I don't know, whatever, until I saw like maybe Freddy versus Jason, Freddy was my top. Like I got Freddy stories galore from my childhood. Like when I first got, it was the first horror movie I got permission to watch.
nice.
Somehow I like asked my mom if I could curse during it if I got scared. She said yes, so that opened up me being a shitty person right there. My mom made me a Freddy Krueger sweater because we could not find one at a thrift store, so she took the time to like duct tape up a red sweater and spray it green. And so I was the only kid that had that because the mask was out that year and the glove was out that year.
But no one had the
We're talking like
sweater.
'88, but nobody fucking had the sweater because
Oh,
they didn't
shit.
make it. So I was like, right, too bad I was wearing jeans. But
Whatever.
and I told that story to Robert England, and he like, I guess he was touched by it. I really wanted to tell him because it meant a lot to me, and I just wanted to tell him that story, and I did. And he gave me another autograph, like a $100 value. He just grabbed another picture, told me a fucking story about the sweater before it got the stripes on the arms, and then autographed a picture of that.
God, that's fucking awesome.
But then I paid it forward and sent that to somebody.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, Freddy's a big deal, is what I'm fucking saying. You know me as a Jason guy, but I fucking love me some Freddy Krueger. And so currently we're going through the thing that has put Friday the 13th in hell, but it's not so bad for Freddy because people are able to get their rights back after 35 years. So as movies are released through the 80s, we're going to start seeing those rights get some shakeups. So with Michael Myers proving to be so popular and Pennywise, like we're going to be getting a lot of slashers back, and this is going to be fucking cool.
No.
And just recently, the estate of Wes Craven got back Nightmare on Elm Street, and unlike the Jason one, they ain't fucking putting their thumb up their ass or like legal battling. They're taking offers and shit. Like people are talking to Robert about it, asking him if he'd do it. Sometimes he says he'll do one. Sometimes he says he'll do an animated. But we're gonna get some Freddy shit. So
I feel like they just put out something on Bloody Disgusting where they were talking about Robert England specifically saying like he's gonna come back for one more. Like it's almost like a sure thing at this point.
Before this came up, he was always saying he wouldn't do one more. But then like there was a point I want to say like 6 months ago where he's like, I think I have one more in me.
Yeah.
And now it's a reality. So I fully expect at least one more live movie. But we've also got. It was a joke that me and Michael were discussing. His friend tagged him in a article about them making a Freddy vs. Jason 2, and we're like, "This is fucking stupid. Like the rights aren't even open. It's not happening." But Slash and Cast covered that because they are adamant that the guy who fucking said it is like been right like on several things before. So obviously, it can't be going through yet because the thing is still the trial's still going. But maybe some interested parties have been discussing it.
Sure. Maybe. I don't hate a world that has a Freddy versus Jason 2 in it. I did enjoy Freddy versus
fucking
Jason.
want it bad. And so the rumor is, the only reason we're talking bad about it is because it seems so far-fetched with the current state. But
yeah, there's not a lack of desire.
Right. The rumor is one more Freddy movie and one more Jason movie followed by The Clash, but that contradicts Robert and his one more thing.
Yeah.
Like Robert needs to be like two more.
Right. Also, like, I don't know, like, his main thing of not wanting to be Freddy again is because he's like
Old.
worried about his physical performance. Exactly, he's older. If he was gonna do a Freddy versus Jason 2, that seems more physical than just doing a regular film.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm not against fucking massive body double shit.
Nor am
Like,
I. Nor
as
am
long
I.
as it's Robert delivering lines and when it's like moments that don't require physical stuff, he's there in the outfit. And then have Jason kick the shit out of a dude wearing this mask right fucking here. When the right person, there's not a fat fuck like me, wears it, you like look like fucking Freddy, dude. The goddamn mouth moves with yours. So if I can get that for $400, a team of makeup artists can fucking make somebody look like Robert fucking England.
Oh,
And
sure.
especially if it's only for shots that are, action shots and shit. Like, it's not a problem.
No.
He's just got to be willing to do it. If they go in the direction that I want, we don't need Robert doing a lot of shit for the Nightmare movie because I want to see more elaborate dream shit. So Freddy just needs to walk down halls and scrape shit and stab people when it comes to that. But other than that, you get
Say
like
his fucking one-liners and his laugh. Like,
I want dope Freddy worms and melting bullshit, and I want it to return back to where Nancy would jump out her window and then suddenly she's fucking in the bait. How was it?
in the boiler room.
Yeah.
Oh, like she jumps out of the boiler room and then she's in front of her house.
And then she's in front of her house where it's like totally dream shit. They kind of lost that as it went on.
Yeah, absolutely.
The surrealness. And so you can get away with a lot more stuff if you are willing to get surreal with it and just have Robert doing his thing.
Yeah, no, I fucking totally agree. It's crazy that all this time has passed and we haven't had a new Nightmare on Elm Street. Because even to this day, like, Freddy's held in fucking high regard. Newcomers to horror will fucking champion his name and shit.
Everyone loves fucking Freddy.
Everyone loves, yeah. You don't come across people who are like, oh, I hate the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Because you just don't. You can't.
Even in the group we used to be in, like, people hate certain movies, but nobody's like, Freddy sucks.
Freddy's whack.
It just doesn't happen.
I was saying that about Child's Play 2 in my other video there, because there's certain movies that, like, no matter what your horror tastes are, you just love it. You just do. I came across somebody recently who hated fucking The Shining, and that was the first time I'd ever heard that.
I can see it if you are somebody with ADD and you also, like, you buy into the whole child molestation theory of The Shining. Like, it could be rough.
Sure.
But, like, whatever.
I mean, I have my movies like that too. Like, I don't talk about it very often, but I'm not a big Exorcist fan. I don't like the first Exorcist, which I know is like heresy to some people. They think it's like the greatest horror film of all time. But I find it slow. I don't find it. I just missed my opportunity to watch it.
Okay.
But I do like the sequels.
Interesting. You don't hear that one too much.
I'm the same way with the movie Psycho. I'm not a big fan of Psycho 1. But 2, 3, and 4, I think are fucking masterpieces.
Those are more like 80s slasher flicks.
Yeah.
So I get it. Exorcist is weird for me. It's like not that I recognize the brilliance of it, and it's not that it scares me directly. I'm not a super religious person, but when I watch The Exorcist, I kind of feel like I shouldn't be watching The Exorcist.
Sure.
Like,
It's naughty.
it's naughty, and I'm like, feel like I'm kind of invoking some attention because I am a spiritual person,
Yeah.
and I'm superstitious in some ways, and I feel like I'm kind of evoking shit that I shouldn't be fucking evoking. So like, that's more of a movie where I just hold it in respect. I got a poster for it right there, and I just got the theatrical / director's cut, like special edition of it with a booklet, and so I really like it. But I don't watch it that much because it's almost like it's the only movie I'm somewhat uncomfortable putting in. But it's a great fucking movie.
No.
I'm just spiritual enough to be like, there's some juju.
I
here.
better not. Yeah, no, I get that.
Like Tucker versus the Dale versus Evil looking real nice right now.
What's your favorite Nightmare film of the lot?
It's so generic, but it's 3, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's all the characters are fucking likable. It's got enough kills to not drag like the first one can sometimes. I love the first one. Don't fucking have
No, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like it can drag at times.
It can, and it just Freddy looks more like I want him to look because the makeup advanced and he's cracking the jokes, but not silly like he starts to get. And
Yeah.
it's like the tone is perfect. like all the characters. I like the power idea. I think we should have seen more of that Dream Warrior shit. That's what I think they should do if they're ever just straight up remaking again.
No, I think it was a weird escalation to go from Dream Warriors to the Dream Master, and then Dream Master turned out the way that it did. Just because I love the idea of this pack of people who go into dreams together to like singularize it like that and just have it be one person who controls it all. That could have been awesome, and I see where on paper it's fucking like if you tell that to somebody, they're like, "That's fucking amazing."
Right.
But the way that they went about doing it is it's forgettable. Clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking. Oh, she just sucks the powers of other people who are more interesting than her.
No, no.
I do like Alice though. Like I'd love to see her return for one of my Freddy dream projects, which they could do it with Freddy or Jason, and it's like to have like a survivors. They did it in the Freddy versus Jason comic, so it's a mix of both. But they had some survivors come back for like group therapy,
Sure.
and then you have kind of like a fucking all-star team of fucking victims,
Yeah.
man. Like it's a great idea,
Yeah.
and I think it should be with Freddy and Jason because Freddy don't have too many leftovers. He takes care of it. He's got Alice, his daughter, and I mean that's it.
That's it. I
Nancy's
guess.
fucking
Yeah.
gone. Nancy's fucking gone. So
He kills the dad, kills Nancy, kills all the Dream Warriors.
which sucks. That always bummed me out. And I feel like they were like, we can't get Patricia Arquette back, so fuck these kids.
Do you know
Like,
why?
there's like different rumors, but like her being pregnant at the time, I guess is the one that leaned on the most now.
Okay. Well then, shit. They should have brought her back for fucking Dream Child at least then.
They also say it's because her career was starting to go somewhere and she just didn't want to fucking do it.
Now that makes more sense.
It makes a lot more sense because you ain't seeing her at fucking cons.
Yeah.
And like what? The Medium, ooh, how
Yeah.
famous are you?
Well, whatever.
So it's a shame because I think if she had been a part 4, I'd like it a lot more than I did.
Same. Yeah, like I said, it's a pretty forgettable film for me, Dream Master. But if she was back in it, and also the Dream Warriors were able to survive for a lengthier amount, they kind of snuff them out in the first like 20 minutes.
And
of
they're
the
also
film.
dicks, dude. They're like, leave us alone. He's dead. I understand wanting to pass it by, but like, they don't practice their dream powers or nothing. They just fucking suck.
Yeah, they should have been stronger instead of being able to just fucking die really quickly.
Those should have been the last 3 people alive in the movie.
Absolutely. Maybe keep Alice just so that way she could continue on to fucking to Dream Child. But then it would have made sense for her to become the Dream Master under fucking fighting with the Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
Instead, she got fucking knocked up. fucking like a 16 and pregnant episode.
Right?
Terrible, man.
I'd put part 4 maybe 4th. I don't really know. I'd have to think about it. Part 1 and 2 are up there. So, and then I'd have to think, do I like 4 better than New Nightmare? New Nightmare is a great movie, but the fact that it's not really Freddy is always something that like makes it just a tad less appealing.
No.
It's a cool story, but it doesn't further the Nightmare story.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. But it was interesting.
Oh no, definitely a cool fucking movie.
Like, if I was ranking the fucking Nightmare films, it would break my top 5 for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I think it's up there. We got less Freddy movies. Well, we got like 7, right?
Yeah. Let's say there's Nightmare, Revenge, Dream Warriors, Dream Child, Dream Master, Dream Child, Freddy's Dead, New Nightmare remake. So there's
And Freddy vs. Jason.
and Freddy versus Jason. You're right. So we have like 9 to choose from.
Okay.
There's a lengthy amount.
God, I don't think it'd break my top 5 because fucking I love Freddy vs. Jason, despite wanting Kane Hodder in it and despite maybe wanting the director to be a fan.
Was he not? Oh, Ronnie Yu.
No, he fucking wasn't. That was the
Oh.
thing. Like, whatever.
Oh.
I know he directed Bride of Chucky, but I don't know. If you listen to the commentary of Freddy vs. Jason, it's like this could have been better.
I think if I was ranking them, it would come in at least my part 4, at like my 4th place. Fucking Freddy versus Jason.
It's brilliant because if you try to come up with reasons for them to meet, like ways for them to meet, like this brings in some shit. It's really one of the few ways you could get around it. And then I didn't remember Hypnosil from part 3 because why would I remember the drug in fucking part 3? But then after watching 3, after watching Freddy vs. Jason, it's like they brought back stuff. Like they did. They did good. They're at Weston Hills and that. Like
Yeah,
it's
they
fucking.
do a good job.
Yeah.
They do a good job at like fucking bringing it
The
all
writer
back
gave
together.
a shit.
Yeah.
Now the studio and the director, a different story.
You just fucked me up. I did not realize that they went back to Weston Hills.
Oh.
And fucking wow, look at that. That's fucking cool.
Now,
I remember Hypnosaw, but I didn't put that together. That's wild.
Yep. Now, if I was an architect, I'd probably be able to tell you those aren't the same goddamn buildings, but it's Weston Hills.
No, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Besides, Weston Hills had like 2 towers, and like who knows
Yeah.
what the lobby was
It
like.
was a big
Like,
place.
yeah,
Not all the kids are on the same floor, I'm sure.
but I want more psych ward shit, dude. That was good. That brought a pathos to it. Like,
I love any time that we can take a horror movie and set it in a fucking psych ward. I know people fucking hate it, but like it's one of the big reasons why fucking Cult of Chucky was my number 3.
yeah,
I love psych ward movies.
you can get away with a lot more shit.
Yeah.
And explain why somebody doesn't do something about it. Because, like, if you complain to your fucking psych ward guard that, like, somebody's coming in your dreams
Yeah, fucking dream
or there's a
demon.
doll coming to kill you, like, they're going to be like, fuck you,
Let's
go to
just
bed.
crank you down.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck that.
So there's reasons why, like, they can't use a cell phone, they can't do that. Like, having it's a right, even more so than a hospital, because you can add all that shit, and then, like, with dangerous patients, like, maybe being involved, you can go all kinds of places with a psych ward.
100%.
So Dream Warriors is if they ever do another Robertless Freddy where they like start the story over, I want it like that. You can make it completely different, but use the fucking log line. Like kids in a psych ward must survive.
Yeah.
Like,
Could you watch a Freddy Krueger movie? Could you watch a Nightmare movie with no Freddy Krueger? Like, you never see him. You know that he's the one doing things. You're still getting these really fucking, like, cerebral kills and shit, but you just never see Freddy Krueger. Could you do it?
do you even hear him or talk about him?
Sure, let's... What was that?
Don't worry about it.
If you, yeah, like, you can still hear him. Like, what if Robert only did, like, fucking voices for it, but you never actually see him? Could you love that?
I could, but I don't think. I mean, I think it'd be a financial fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People go to see Freddy.
Yeah,
Wow.
they do. I don't know if I could love it as the best one because I want to see that swagger.
Yeah.
Like, it depends on how they did it. If like there was Freddy Worm and Freddy fucking dogs and Freddy.
Yeah, there's
fucking-
like Freddy-esque monsters for
Right.
sure. But Robert Englund is just not physically in it.
I don't think so. I think I would either want them to go super fucking like superimposing him on somebody, like, or make it animated, like they're talking about maybe doing an animated one, or
Which I don't want to see.
100%.
If I'm being honest, man. That's
It's
an
hard
idea
to
that doesn't
imagine.
excite me.
It's hard to imagine it being atmospheric enough, but like it can't look like Scooby Doo, right? It
Yeah.
has to be like
What's the
dark.
animation style?
Dark fucking anime, but not super
Anime.
not super
Yeah.
Asian, like fucking big eyes and
What's
shit.
a cartoon show that you think could have, and it would make a good effect?
Oh shit. I don't fucking watch a lot of anime.
Oh, it doesn't have to be anime, just any animated series that we can reference.
Oh man, see, animated series are rough because they're on a fucking time limit. Like you have to churn out a bunch of episodes, so most of them are super fucking simplistic. I don't think it could be simplistic. I think it has to be super fucking detailed, like
Intricate and shit.
Aeon Flux, but not quite as like Salvador Dali with like exaggerated bullshit.
Mhm.
Like maybe something like that, something from Adult Swim, maybe. It's tough. Like I want it to be dark. I want them to look realistic. I don't want it. You know what? We come back to what I was saying. Like,
I was saying
I don't
that
want
it
it.
doesn't excite me. But you never know what you want until you have it. So who knows? Maybe they will make it and it'll be fucking super sick.
have you ever indulged in Freddy's Nightmares, the TV show?
Yeah, of course.
I think that could work again if he was just hosting it
Yeah.
and we got to, and like the best episodes of that were the ones that were centered around him. The ones that aren't good are the ones that were it's like that could be a fucking Outer Limits episode.
Sure.
Like so, if they were able to do it the right way, like one episode's about a fucking copycat killer, and then one episode's about a different person that gets dream powers, and fucking, but it's tied to Freddy, and then this one takes place in Springwood. As long as it always came back to the main series in some way and it was relatable, I think that would be cool again.
It's almost impossible to talk about Freddy without bringing up Jason or anything. But I gotta ask you this: since we're talking about the TV shows, how do you feel about the Friday the 13th TV show?
Oh, I think it was a cool idea that shouldn't be called Friday the 13th. Because it's basically fucking Needful Things, the TV show. That's what it really is. It's a bunch of, random antiques and antiquities and shit that, like, in a haunted pawn shop, essentially. But
I paid like $80 for the series. Like I bought the box set and was so pumped about it.
you
I
did
did
it
not
blind?
know. I didn't know. I didn't know. And I only watched the first like 4 episodes.
Okay.
I couldn't get through the rest of it. It's like 3 seasons, right?
There was an episode that messed me up as a kid I want to watch again, and it's the Lizzie Borden episode about a fucking like wax museum and the fucking Lizzie Borden wax bitch is coming back to life and killing people with an axe. I think it's like a carnival with the wax thing, and
That's another one of those things, man. Fucking wax in fucking horror films.
so
Always good.
it unsettled me. There was an episode of Freddy's Nightmares, and I should probably be talking about that instead. I'm talking about an episode of Friday the 13th.
God, we're being so aimless right
Oh
now.
my gosh, let's discuss it. Um, It turns out that the girl that he's recently started dating, that's like the wife of the carnival barker slash like wax guy,
Mhm.
she is the Lizzie Borden fucking wax thing. Like under the veil, it's her, and she doesn't know that she's a fucking wax golem. And like then like he takes off whatever enchantment makes her like I don't know, but she ends up melting, and it's like his fucking girlfriend that he's been like dating, and it like. See, I was watching Friday the 13th the series when I was a fucking kid. And whenever it was out,
That's easy to love.
wasn't loving it. What I'm saying is, I saw a lot of it. It was on a channel, and I fucking caught it, and I caught that episode, and like that resonated with me and disturbed me.
See, I didn't even know about it. Like, I've come to learn that it's kind of like a shamed thing now. Like, but at the time when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know that there was a fucking thing.
Basically, like a 60 episode season of The Witch. Like, but I think there's some value in it now. I'm not really sure. I'd have to go back.
One day I'll sit down and I'll watch it all the way through. But it's very deceiving. Even like the slipcover that I have for
They
it.
put a big skull on it.
Yeah, his mask is on it.
I think it's a skull, but it's definitely meant to look like his mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely hoping people buy it looking for Jason, but she wasn't in it at all.
The hills run red, man.
You're gonna see it. That movie's good. It's okay. I don't want to say it's good. It's okay.
You're gonna see, man.
You're gonna see that movie's finishable.
You go fuck yourself, Michael.
You're gonna give it a forgettable on your show, but like it's a fucking movie. Fuck you. I feel like now I gotta talk about the episode of Freddy's Nightmares that fucked me up, and this one fucked me up to where I didn't watch horror movies for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Freddy's Nightmares came out in like '88, I think, maybe '89. So I was like 8 years old, around there, and there was an episode that it was 2 twins, and this was an episode that actually like dealt with Freddy Krueger, and they were the daughters of like the cop that fucking arrested him or something.
Weird.
And they were having dreams, and when one of them would get hurt in the dream, the other one got the injury.
Oh, that's fucked. I love shit like that.
And it ends with one of the twins waking up, and she's like face to face with her sister who got, and her face is like all fucked up. And that fucked me up. Like they're in the dream, and one of them's sitting in a chair, and Freddy's arm comes and like Glenn's in her in, and then she wakes up, and then her sister's just fucking dead. And I don't know if it was because I had a brother or whatever the fuck, but like that episode took me out. Like, and then I remember I got upset because we were eating at a Boll Weevil, and that show come on like at 7 p.m. It came on pretty fucking early, and whatever the channel was on in the Boll Weevil turned into Freddy's fucking Nightmares, and the intro started, which was a good intro, and I fucking was like, oh, my mom got up and fucking turned the TV off, and that's weird to say because I feel like any other part of my life I would have been like, yes, they don't know fucking horror.
Right.
Like, but that year, or how I say a year, it could have been fucking 2 months. I was 8.
No.
But I wouldn't watch scary shit for a period of time.
The movie that fucked me up, that like it made me like I don't understand why people like horror. Like it just put me off. Wasn't even a horror film, man. Like I remember clear as day. I was sitting with my mom and my sisters. It was just a movie night. Like we were watching movies together, and we decided to watch the movie Signs.
Oh, the alien shit.
Yeah, and the scene where they're like we have footage of an alien. It's a real life and shit. And it's the alien just walk past at the fucking kid's birthday party. As soon as that happened, I broke down in tears. Like,
Because you're like thinking it would show up at my birthday.
yeah, exactly. And like super young.
Nothing is safe. My favorite thing is it's safe.
Yeah. Like I remember it was right around the time that Signs had just went on VHS and shit. So it was like exciting. It's like, oh, this new movie. And I remember after that being number one, so scared. Even to this day, like if I look on a roof, I expect to see some fucked up shit. Like Signs, it got deep in my brain.
Well,
But it was that film for me where it was just like, nope, I don't get it. I don't want it. I'm never gonna fuck with it. I was wrong. So were you.
no shit, right?
Yeah.
Thank God. So all you people that just found us because of Freddy, you probably aren't even fucking watching anymore.
Whatever.
Fuck you.
I mean, we can go back.
We're funny.
Yeah, we like our conversation. We want you to fucking listen out. Yeah. Let's see, we can go back to Freddy and shit. The movie that I watched the most of all of the Freddy movies definitely is Freddy is Dead. And I don't know if it's just because that movie has like a cartoon layer to it with like the video games and just the imagery and just
Oh yeah,
he's
the
so
witch
kooky
and
in
the
it.
pushing the spikes under.
Yeah.
It
There's
is like a
something
Warner
about
Brothers cartoon.
it is.
That's what most people don't like about it.
No. But for me, I was just age appropriate at the
All
time
right.
that I watched it, so it was just like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to watch now, just because number one, I've seen it so many goddamn times, and because I watched it so young, and because it has that youthful nature to it, I feel a little immature watching it. But I do have good things to say about that movie, contrary to so many other people.
I'm not fucking gonna be like Cody Leach and say that it's the worst thing that exists. I think I was like 10 when it fucking came out, and I enjoyed it. I was like, oh my god, Freddy's gonna fucking die. Like I had to wait till it came out on video to watch it, so I didn't get to see it in 3D, and I thought it was cool. You know, the only thing I would change about that, well, it depends on how deep you can get, but I'd really like for the Freddy kill and the Dream Demons to not look like such utter shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer in that one. It's a bummer looking back now. And a total shock and amazement to me that other people didn't like it. Like I went in kind of like happy, like I like imagine going to like show and tell and doing something and being like, this is cool. Everyone being like, that is lame. And then being like, what's lame about it? What happened?
The only other part I don't kind of like is during Spencer's death. I don't mind the video game aspect of it, but I don't really like how he's like bouncing around with sounds. They could
It's too silly.
if they could tone that part down, like yeah, because my favorite character in the movie is about to fucking eat it. Like don't make it retarded.
But I did like that like Johnny Depp came back for that cameo.
That was cool.
That was really fucking cool. I did like the teenagers in this movie. Like the deaf kid.
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos was fucking cool. The chick was cool. I like that. Do we go back to the psych ward in that, or are those just like prisoners? Like juveniles. What's their whole
Oh, it's not Weston Hills, but it's some kind of home.
Yeah.
It's
Like
yeah,
a halfway house or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's for like delinquents.
Yeah.
And I like all that stuff too, and I like the flashbacks with Alice Cooper as his dad.
Yeah, that was cool.
Freddy killing a gerbil in class, and
Fucking Roseanne is in this movie.
that part's a little silly. 'Cause
I like it. No.
it doesn't make sense. Like Springwood being a fucking. We're like moving into the shitty side.
No.
The whole Springwood being like a ghost town with no teenagers is dumb, especially since we show up in
Dude,
Freddy versus
what
Jason.
was that?
So I'm saying the Roseanne shit like that because that's part of that. So I lump it in there, but
It's not even on Elm Street or anything. It's just some random non sequitur fucking town that's just been destroyed by Freddy Krueger. It didn't. Yeah.
Also, there's a cool scene that I really need to start pausing because it's got a bunch of prototype gloves. Like he's got one that's got tiny little.
Yeah, like he's working his way through
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yep, and I'd like to see all the props they had of like different gloves that weren't quite the Freddy glove. You know, Why don't I have a Freddy coffee table book? Why isn't there one? There's a fucking Jason one. I don't know, man. Bastards. No, it's not the piece of shit that some people would say.
And like I said, I didn't know that people didn't like it until I started joining like different horror groups and stuff, and people started to talk about how they just don't like this
I'll
one.
tell you what, problems aside, I'd rather watch that than fucking part five.
Same.
Part five is the fucking pit of boring when it comes to Freddy. Like that's like the middle of the road. You're fucking driving. You got 9 movies, 4 behind you, 5 ahead of you, and you drive into fucking part five, the goddamn Dream Child, and there's only 3 shitty kills. The characters fucking suck besides Alice and Dan, and I guess I kind of like the artist guy because I'm an
Yeah, he's
artist.
cool. Yeah, I would say he's the best character, honestly, in that movie. Cause like fuck Alice from fucking Dream Master, I didn't care for her all that much, and fucking her getting fucking Kristen's powers and shit. Fuck all that shit.
I think she'd be a dope action figure with all her stupid shit she straps on before she.
That would be a fun.
Um, I just, I don't know. Yeah, like it fucking. I don't care for Jacob. I like the idea of a baby dreaming and affecting the mom. There's things
Yeah,
that I like.
that was fucking cool.
Execution makes for a boring fucking
Fucking
movie.
baby Freddy is fucking
Baby
badass.
Freddy is
Love
badass.
that.
You get more Amanda Kruger, which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't. There's not a fucking Freddy movie I hate.
Which is crazy. Like we didn't see Amanda Kruger only pops up in Dream Child and Part 3, huh?
Yeah, she wasn't in part four.
She wasn't in Part 4. She's not in Freddy's Dead.
No. Grandma's
No
Lady
New
to
Nightmare,
Rest.
any of that shit. Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a single one I despise. Like even the remake has value. I wish it had less jump scares, and I wish it was a little more original. And I wish they didn't think that CGI wall thing looked better than something that was done practically in 1984.
Nah, dude, I love Haley as a fucking actor. Like anything that I see that dude in, I'm just like, dude, he's in one of my favorite movies of all time. This movie called Little Children, where he like chops his dick off and shit, so that way he can stop jerking off in front of women. It's a fucking awesome
Wow.
movie. Yeah, dude, it's powerful stuff.
You're about to see something different between me and Michael because my favorite Haley is Rorschach. Like fucking, you're not locked in here, or I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Like that pumps me up every
Dude,
time.
it's so good. He's a great actor.
Yeah,
And even when I heard that he was gonna be Freddy, I was like, okay,
yeah.
okay, maybe this could be fucking something, the start of something great. Unfortunately, I think like the script was lacking in
The
that.
script is very lacking.
Yeah, and it was heavily CGI reliant, which is a bummer. Like you said, the wall. That's fucking stupid. Like you don't respect me as a viewer. What are you doing?
You want to know something that annoys me that probably doesn't matter to anyone?
What?
That all the main characters are named after a fucking survivor from the other series, except for one. You got 4 main characters. You've got Nancy, who's not Nancy Thompson, so I'm not even counting it. It's Nancy, Jesse, Kristen, and then Quentin. Now, I understand that maybe there's not another male protagonist to draw from that's like super upfront in the rest of the series, but at least try.
There could have been someone. Who would you name? Like
You
as a
can't-
guy.
You can't name it Alice, so I just throw in Dan because he was the second supporting character in part 4.
Yeah.
Or
Dan's a good one.
or the John Doe. I don't know. These from part
Or
7.
maybe even like the dad's name would have been cool to throw
Yeah.
that in there or something.
You know, like it's just a combo breaker. Like, it fucking annoys me.
It had to be a guy too, right?
Well, just because of the script they wanted to write.
Uh,
I mean, they could easily make Alice the 4th one,
yeah.
but they wanted to move another dude. But Quentin sucks. Whatever. The deaths suck. They didn't improve on Tina's death. The only one I really like is the one where he slits his own throat because it just shows that Freddy's like trying to make it like somewhat realistic at first. He doesn't want to be like obvious that he
No.
exists. Like he ain't trying to make claws appear on somebody out of nowhere, so he makes the dude kill himself. But then the rest of the deaths are like whack as fuck. You got the dude who just bursts through. I love that he's saying your brain lives for 7 minutes, so we're gonna stay and I'm gonna torture you. That's cool, but the kill was lame.
No.
Um,
Yeah, no, I feel like by Dream Child, they'd just been cranking them out and cranking them out. There was such just demand for Freddy that they were just like, here's another one. Enjoy it. It's like fucking working on something creative for hours, and by the end of it, you're just spent. And I think that's exactly what happened.
If Dream Child had 2 more kills and they were good, it'd be a pretty good movie.
No,
It's just not enough going on, and
I feel like they didn't get. That's probably why I also have such a like fucking grand feelings towards Freddy is Dead, because I feel like there's a lull between fucking Dream Warriors and Freddy's Dead. Like Freddy's Dead, without all the cartoony stuff, I feel like it builds up a lot more momentum. The film looks really good. The actors are really cool. It's an interesting story. It has so much to pull me back in that both Dream Child and Dream Master just don't have. The coolest thing about Dream Master is that it's off the heels of Dream Warriors.
yeah, and it's still dealing with that, and then, but like it's like I was telling you earlier, like I think Dream Master is like gluten-free Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
It's just not as sharp because none of the characters are using a dream power or anything. It's just Alice. And, they killed the characters that were built well, and then they fucked up and they couldn't do the Rick's death scene right. They were supposed to kill him in an elevator with this big thing where the floor comes out and some shit happens, and they ran out of budget, so they did that invisible Freddy
the
attack.
stupid fight thing,
Yeah.
him fighting himself.
And you know what? I can like that character, and I'd rather not see him die that cheaply. It was just lame.
Uh,
You know, they could have just not killed him if they didn't have the budget. Fuckers.
uh,
The only reason they did is because they already filmed the really stupid funeral scene where he comes out and he's like, "Hello,
hey,
hello, babe."
what up, guys?
It's just not even sinister at all. Like it should have been creepy.
It reads douchey.
There should have been
super
some,
douchey.
yeah, and there should have been like moments where you're like, "This is obviously Freddy," like he's acting weird. Like
No.
it was just,
Nothing.
yeah, it's just silly shit. And then you got the New Nightmare, which is a great movie, but also real stingy with the kills.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like
It's
3.
it's the most like intellectual film
Yeah.
of the lot for sure.
I would have liked to see more Robert Englund playing himself in it.
Correct. He was kind of weird in that movie too, but I
Yeah,
guess it's because he was being tormented himself.
Yeah, and he's painting
Yeah.
bizarre shit. But he should have had like 2 or 3 more scenes. Like he should have been somehow involved, like in the third act. A little, like it wasn't enough. It's not like we only had Robert for 3 days because he's in the whole fucking
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Freddy, so
Yeah, no, it was New Nightmare. I hated for years. I hated for
I can
years.
see it.
Yeah, I slept on it for a long time, and then I feel like somewhere around like 20, I was like, let me watch this piece of shit movie. And I was like, wow, I'm kind of an asshole. Like this movie isn't bad at all. Because I love that they found a way to squeeze Nancy into one more movie. And I love that
Right.
they bring it into like a new fucking like reality. That's cool. It's, it really is a new nightmare story.
It is probably unfairly treated in the same way of Halloween 3 and Friday the 13th Part 5 is that people didn't get what they wanted, so they said it's shit.
Yeah. But really, they're solid films.
Right, and then years later, when a bunch more came out, and it's only one notch on the belt, like you could appreciate them for what they are, and that's what. Because when they come out, you're like, "Fuck, that's what I waited through a year for." But once it's like a back catalog, like maybe view it a little more.
Dude, I was pumped as fuck for New Nightmare because Freddy never looked so fucking sinister. He looked like a fucking badass in this movie.
He does look like a badass, but I think it like turned me off because I wanted him to look more like himself.
Oh man, this looked for me when I watched it when he had that trench coat and he had the hat and his skin looked more like closer to like Hellraiser, like once everybody's like skinned and
Yeah.
shit. I was like, damn, I've never seen this before, and this looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, now it's a cool new figure I get, and a glove I wish I had because that fucking skeleton tendon glove
So
is
good.
sick.
I remember drawing that as a little kid and being like, I'm cool now.
You were fucking cool.
Ah, come on.
If you were drawing Freddy gloves, if you're drawing fucking Freddy gloves, you're cool.
Yeah, pretty
You're
cool.
doing it now, you're doing it then, you're doing it tomorrow.
You're pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, but it had like that exposed bone
Yep.
and like the pink skin
Yep.
underneath. It looks so good. That's maybe my favorite thing about that movie is it's fucking Giga Freddy. You guys don't know this, but we just spoke about Giga Bowser, and that's why.
Yep. So enjoy that joke between us.
But yeah, he's like fucking Super Freddy in this movie, and then at the end where he's like a fucking demon.
For like 1 second.
Yeah, like it stood with me, man.
Well, you know what? It was important enough that NECA included that head in the Ultimate figure.
Awesome.
Or whatever, not Ultimate, but
They brought it.
Yep.
Brought it in. Good.
It's in my bathroom right now because I don't have a toy case.
Uh-oh.
Send us money so I can have a toy case.
Come on. He needs it.
And then we didn't see Freddy again until Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah. Wow. Which we kind of touched on, but
We
like
did.
just to go deeper in that, like I loved it. I love that movie.
The improvements to it would be add Kane Hodder, so we don't have to have Frank and Jason, even though he looks cool. Freddy needs some more kills.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because the Freddy fans, because now that I'm mostly on the Jason side of the fence, the Freddy fans got cheated and killed. He only got that one dude whose brother committed suicide. That's pretty much all he got.
No.
And then he was too powerless. And then by the end, Jason's just racking him up. And he could have got some. He could have fucking killed Linderman. You know what I mean? Linderman's death getting knocked into the flag holder wasn't cool enough to where it wouldn't have benefited if it was Freddy. Just through his fucking head.
Easy.
It's weak. It's not fair.
I will say that I did like that they left it open ended as far as who won between the two. People will say no, fucking Jason won it and shit. But I like to think that the battle raged on.
Well, here's a fucking little peek behind the curtain, guys. They're not trying to piss off either fandom. So it is 100% intended to be pretty much a draw that you can argue either way. That's why it bothers me when somebody takes one stance really hard with that, because I could argue it either way. You want me to be the Freddy fan or the other one? I'll fucking argue it both ways because they did it that way on purpose. Ambiguous. It's same when Godzilla's about to fight Kong. Guess what? They're not gonna fucking fight each other the whole movie. They're gonna end up fucking going after a common threat.
No.
Or like the other one, it was kind of a draw. Godzilla goes into the water and Kong swims away. Then you're not gonna end a versus movie with one person fucking defiantly having murdered the other. It's not what people want.
Superman versus Batman and shit.
Yeah,
everyone wins.
It's not gonna end with fucking Superman holding Batman's head. That's for goddamn shit.
While we're talking about that, one of maybe the greatest things about Freddy versus Jason is their actual fight scene. When they're fighting on that construction site and those fucking pillars are coming down and stabbing Freddy, and they're just slashing at each other and there's blood everywhere.
Gallons of it.
Dude, I'm not an action guy. I fight scenes, I like them short and quick, but I don't have to watch a whole thing. I love watching Freddy and Jason fight. I thought it was fucking sick.
I like that they let them each fight, have 2 rounds, one in the dream world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to address something right fucking now. And I know I'm only getting 100 some odd views on this video, so I'm not changing the world. But motherfuckers, Jason is not afraid of water. He's not. I can totally cut to fucking 12 times where Jason fucking just goes through water. He doesn't care. He's hanging off a chain. He's fucking going after Tommy. He's not fucking afraid of water. When Freddy gets in your head, he's in your head. He's reducing your psyche to the state he wants it to be. He turned Jason into a child. He took him down to his most basic fucking self. He was then afraid of water. He's not afraid of motherfucking water.
You just got called out, son.
Stop it. And while we're saying stop it, stop complaining that Jason Takes Manhattan doesn't have more than half an hour of Manhattan. Terminator 2 Judgment Day doesn't take place on fucking Judgment Day. Okay.
Y'all just got served. High five.
Yeah, my little rant.
Can you do that? Can you do the thing?
What, pedicure?
I know numbers.
I don't know that shit.
I'll teach you.
All right.
So guys, that is our thoughts on the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
But so where should it go? In the end,
From here?
what do we want ultimately? what 100% what is what you want to see, like if you had control?
That's a rough question, man. I definitely want to get heavier on the dream sequences because I feel like we've neglected the fact that we can do anything in dreams. Like we've touched on it in Dream Warriors where it's like, oh, my desires.
Yeah.
But I would love to see more of that. I would love to see more Dream Warrior-esque things where people can control their dreams because that's the whole problem with Freddy is you're in an unfamiliar place where he's very
They
familiar.
don't really make you feel like it's a dream, like because you're in a weird location or whatever. But I don't know if it's for everybody, but you know how you're in a dream and you're just like there, but then suddenly you're somewhere else, and then
Yeah.
like you're talking to fucking Bob, but like he's also your dad, and he's also Nicolas Cage. Like you know what I mean? Like the dream like changes. Like it's very disorienting, and it's unless you're a lucid dreamer, like you'll just go from different situation to situation most of the time. It's
Exactly.
not super linear.
And there's so many like weird like diseases that like are associated with sleep too and sleep paralysis and all that fucking weird shit. I'd love to see a lot more of that play
A
into.
narcoleptic.
Yeah, like someone who's narcoleptic has to fight Freddy Krueger. Someone who's dedicated their life to meditation has to fight Freddy Krueger. Like there's so many untouched avenues. Like let's fucking go down them.
I want to see one character that Freddy just can't do shit because this dude is such a dope lucid dreamer. That,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
he can't help anybody else, but Freddy ain't gonna get him. And then maybe Freddy does get him. Show me how.
Yeah, I would love to see it go in that direction.
That'd be fucking dope. That's what I
A
did
real dream master.
really like about the remake was the micro naps. That was a cool addition
No.
because there's consequences to staying up. But if Freddy's coming for me, I'm buying like $100 worth of meth.
I'm just tweaking.
Put him
out.
off for a
Fuck
fucking
it.
week till some fucking bitch defeats him and takes away his power.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's what I liked about Nancy in Dream Warriors was that she figured out a way to fucking give herself a supplement so that way she doesn't have to dream anymore. Like that's the whole thing with hypnoso. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Oh, you know what? We can't go out because you said some shit in your video that I wanted to talk about, like such as you talking about Nancy probably done with Freddy again between movies and
I firmly believe that.
right. No, it stands to reason. So like, God, if only we could see that. That's something an animated chick could explore.
I think it would be perfect for a comic book. Like, just give me a comic book with fucking Nancy
I'm
fighting.
fine with the animated as long as it's separate. Like right now, there's a Mortal Kombat Scorpion cartoon about to come out, but they're also shooting a full-fledged movie in Australia that are completely separate. So if you want to make a fucking Elm Street cartoon, but you're not halting production of a new live-action movie, fucking do it. What's the word? If I don't like it, I'm throwing it in the goddamn trash.
Yep. I agree. I definitely agree.
The other thing you said, like, I just don't see it happening. You were like talking about like a movie that's Freddy when he was like still human, killing kids and shit. I think that's way
Well,
too
no,
intense.
no.
Pussy ass planet.
No, that's not what I want. What I want is a movie where the slaughtered Elm Street kids figure out a way to kill Freddy once and for all.
Because
I
I
don't
don't think
think it
the
makes
chest of
sense.
souls is kind of that.
What do you mean?
You know how Freddy's got a soul chest he can bring out, and in part 4 they all come to life and rip him apart.
Sure.
Don't you think? I mean, obviously there were actresses and there were giant fucking tits, but like, you don't think some of them souls are the kids?
But I want to give a shit. You know, like, yeah, I know that these are souls that Freddy has already killed and shit, but I want a movie that's like these kids, they get together and they're like, well, fuck. You know, what is this? And I want to see them band together to do something to kill Freddy.
It's so weird. Like I could see them coming and asking for help from like a person that's dreaming and alive, but I just can't see a movie where it's like the movie opens up and it's like the death dimension, and it's just like these fucking kids are just hanging out and they start like, we got to team up against Freddy. It's like the main character's a fucking ghost. Like
You made it really cute. All right, but I won't deny that. I don't know, or even something where like I love when movies are able to go back and like introduce things like things that you've always known, but then you find out like behind the scenes things were happening. It'd be cool to find out that like these kids have been helping every person in the movies
Right.
so far, and they tie them all together that way. And then I just ultimately want those kids to take Freddy out.
You
once
want
and
to
for
see
all.
them get some redemption.
I do. I think it's weird that we just have these kids in every
Well,
movie that we don't
If
know.
I'm being devil's advocate against you, then I'm gonna say all the people Freddy killed, he has dominion over. Like he's making those little bastards fucking do that. And maybe they're not even the ghosts of the kids. Maybe they're just images he's conjuring of the kids.
Sure.
And all those souls get freed in part 3.
It would mean if, all right, say if we were to do like my thing, it would mean that all of those kids are stuck in some kind of weird purgatory
Right.
by being fucking killed by Freddy Krueger. So what would that mean? Like if they're still sentient and shit. Because it seems like in Dream Wars, that's what gave me that thought is when, not Alice, but Kristen has the conversation with the little girl on the tricycle. Like, yeah, ultimately she turns into a skeleton and shit. But it seems like she's a real fucking person that's just hanging out there with the other kids.
Kinda, but like then if she turned into a skeleton, like she doesn't have autonomy. You think she chose to turn into a skeleton?
I don't. That's the whole thing. Is I think Freddy was like, fuck that. Like you don't interact with my kills because he knows the potential.
I don't know because I think of her as a figment of that Freddy's created because then she's like, "You're hurting me," like
Right.
you know. But Freddy could have made that. It's just fucking like what is real and what's Freddy. Like,
it's a crazy theory.
yeah,
But
see, if those kids are gonna want out of purgatory, they're gonna need to contact a human character to help. Like people aren't ready for fucking like the Village of the Damned versus Freddy Krueger. Like,
but it could happen. Like, all right, what if it was because again, I brought this up before. Like we only see Freddy killing teenagers. We never see him killing kids. What if now that we kill kids in horror movies left and right and shit, what if a little girl is having these fucking dreams and now this little girl is able to link up with these other kids who have been murdered already?
then I'm down.
I'm just saying it could happen.
Most movies, most movies have a character that like is new to the situation.
Yeah.
Everything from Wanted to whatever, they're all characters that need to be told the plot so that we get the plot.
Like fucking Nightbreed and shit.
Yeah, it's the person. He represents the audience. He's discovering as you do. So we still need that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying it could happen.
That's not the worst thing ever, but you know what?
I would rather the Nancy Freddy fights and see what happened in that bridge of time than get this. But if I could have that too,
it comes back to me just wanting Freddy's Nightmares again because you could do an episode on that and an episode on fucking Nancy dealing with Freddy. Because okay, here what do we know? We know that in part 3, Nancy says her friends are dead.
Yeah.
So there's no way that like it ends with them driving off in that car and being fine.
No way.
Even if they were still alive and everything up before that was a dream and now it's them get it together in a dream for some reason, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Like the ending of that movie is fucking probably the mom's dream because she's the victim. She's the one that gets.
But mom is dead by that point.
Yeah, it's so fucking retarded.
I mean, that's why I think she kept fighting him in battles that we haven't seen. Because there's no way that that's not a dream.
Right.
Like, she's still in it. Freddy doesn't die at the end of 1. So, what the fuck does happen then? You know? How does Nancy get to that place where now she's a fucking sleep therapist and she's figured it out? Something happened. I want to know what.
Yeah, you can stretch that into 90 minutes easy.
Yeah, easy. So yeah, I don't know.
Have Freddy come after her while she's in college for that.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. Why not have Nancy continually having to deal with this thing?
And then at the end, she like fucking starts taking Hypnosil.
Yep, exactly. She learns about Hypnosil and then boom, that's it.
But that wouldn't be a super exciting ending, so we got to combine the like learning about Hypnosil with like banishing him too. Like,
Yeah.
But even if you do come back, I got this.
So, all right. So now in Dream Warriors, this is so fucking fresh in my brain and shit. Nancy has a fucking part where she talks about how each of them have like a secret power and shit. The fuck do you know about this secret power and shit? If we were ever gonna do that like bridge of time where like she's battling Freddy, it would be awesome to figure out how she knows that and how she knows that these kids have those.
And
powers.
maybe we can get some of that Dream Warriors back if like she teaches some of her college people to use their dream powers.
Exactly.
Exactly. Then we got a fucking soft prequel to Dream Warriors where we still get to use some of the themes without making it feel like a retread.
Exactly.
Give us money, Hollywood. Give us money. We're the idea men. We'll sit here and spit shit at you, and then you fucking write it.
You make it all fucking great.
We'll tell you when it's done. Oh. All right, now I feel like we've
Now you
concluded.
Yeah, I mean that was an extra little 20 minutes there, but that's good.
No, I hope you guys
Love it.
enjoyed it. It's long. Our next episode is probably gonna be pretty long because we're gonna get fucked up.
I got fucked up for you guys.
Yep.
For the first time.
We are going to play Never Have I Ever. I already said that.
We got some fucking fun questions that we're gonna ask each other. We're gonna get deep.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna fucking get old stuff.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking pull the veil off some shit that's been bothering me. Some shit's been troubling me. It's time I had my side of it out. Thank you, everybody. Good night!